But then did I actually give you the recording last time? I did, right?
Yeah.
I did, huh? So you
Yeah.
you did go through it, huh? Yeah, right.
Yep.
Because I completely forgot whether I gave you the recording or not. I was going to search for it. Yeah.
Okay. There is.
Okay. So it was on YouTube, right? So you can actually take it off
Yeah.
from YouTube, huh? Okay. Right. So I think this morning, what we need to do some housekeeping. So you Huang, you are actually registered, fully registered already, no issues on that end,
Yeah.
And both Bernard, you all have submitted your progress report. That is very important, and I've already graded, and all that is in already. Progress report, Bernard, you don't have to be too many things. I mean, like, it's actually very brief one. You just have to state, because we know I mean, like, I know your progress. You know, we meet quite frequently, so actually you just have to write down a few things only, like what have you done recently and all that. You know, like maybe just one short paragraph for each section. That's it. You know, that you have covered. So no need to write me like few pages. Yeah. Okay. And then you all need to register yourself, remember, in October for your research methodology class. That one is must already nowadays. So whether you like it or not, or whether you want it or not, you still have to do it. Take note of that, when the SEM opens in October, before the SEM opens in October, you need to research. I mean, you need to register for research methodology class. Okay, by the end of the class, there will be a presentation about what method you're going to be using. And also, there's another thing called proposal defense. I mean, there will be a proposal defense, meaning that your topic defense, which is usually about 6 months from when you have registered, actually 6 to 8 months after you have registered. So I would actually suggest both of you to do your research defense together, because more or less is you all are registering about the same time, but not a bit early, about 3 months earlier than Huang. So I think the proposal defense can be done at about the same time, which we will try to push it for somewhere around late November or early December. Okay, so whatever that you guys are doing now at the moment, it is really it's going to be part of that proposal defense, Okay, are we clear on that? Research methodology class, you need to really be aware. I really don't know how to register for this and all that. I think it should be through CGS. Give Dr. Shelley a message, and I will remind her also to remind the both of you to register for research methodology classes. Okay. So I think at the moment we are committed, committed to meet like at the end of every month in dates like this, 20 something, 25, 20 to 30th every month, so that you all have some form of urgency and responsibilities to like accountability to me, that I don't leave you to your own, because sometimes I leave students to your own. They really don't do anything, and then end up having problems, you see. So at least you handing something to me at the end of every month, so we work towards that proposal defense. So I think for the first thing that Bernard is already quite clear, I've spoke to him last month, is his literature review, and same goes with Wang, your literature review. Okay, I read through what you've given me basically, and obviously it's really just like scratching the skin, it's not even touching the surface, you see. So both of you unfortunately are having two different topics. Kwan is doing quality management, and Bernard is doing more on time delay management, delay and contract management. Yeah, it's still in a time cost quality region, but the gist is the same. You need to do your literature review first, because the literature review will make you, number one, find out about your topic, what all the definitions in the topic all about, what is quality management, what are the quality tools and techniques that are available at the moment in the industries, you know, to deal with your study. Like, for example, quality management, you know, people use TQM, people use Kaizen, and then you need to look into things like your work process. I mean, like your topic is concentrating on the work processes, you see. And these are, what are some of the typical issues? What are some of the big issues in quality management, in delay management, you know, and all that. So these are the flow that you need to get on with, you see. So I think what I can do now is I will go through Bernard's literature review. I think his is a little bit more mature at the moment, and I will comment on his literature review. And for Huang, you just get a feel about what I'm looking for, okay? Let me find your thing, Bernard. So I will kill two birds with one stone now, huh? Please don't think about all your Please don't think about your introduction chapter at the moment. That one is pointless at the moment. You just have to focus on your literature review, okay? Okay, right. So I'm starting to comment. You all can see my screen, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see, basically, you will start off with a very what we call a background, huh? So Bernard, if you use the word general normally for a topic, for a chapter, is actually talking about what this chapter is all about, huh? Okay. So start off with general. This is, it will be your 2.1. Okay. This will be a general section. General section, it will be about what this topic is all about. This is topic number 2, literature review, and this topic will cover what to what. It's like every time you begin a chapter, you will actually give yourself some direction. Okay, you will tell your audience, this is part of how does this chapter actually contribute to your final thesis. Okay, so you will write, like, you know, in fact, when I did my PhD, my supervisor asked me to do a pyramid, you know, like a pyramid of how I actually end up going to the final the final research topic, and at the bottom there is a literature review. So you will see that this chapter, what is this chapter all about? Okay, so you will tell the audience, this is a chapter about, you know, the topic itself is about understanding of the topic, is about trying to understand the definition of the topic, then it's about understanding the issues and problems and what you're studying, you know, and then it's about looking through what other people have done and identifying the problems and identifying the gap of research, you know, and then from there to find to review on the method of carrying out the research, you know, something like that. Okay, so you will give yourself some direction. That is what general section is all about. So then you will have a 2.2, and that will be your background. Okay, background, you was I've spoke to Bernard the other day. It's about something big, you know, and this is about the construction industries, you know, and what the construction industry is all about, and how does it come into play? How does your topic come into play here? You see, so Why are we talking about? Why are we still on? I mean, I already told you I don't want to see any topic one, you know, like why is it there's a topic one there? I mean, like we always start with literature review, you know, like if we don't get your literature review out first, you don't talk about your chapter one at all, you know, you're just going to be confusing yourself, you see. Um, this is still very jumbo, you know. I mean, like, I can't see what I want at all. In fact, you know, it's not logical. I mean, your things are still very jumbo, you know, like bits and pieces here and there, here and there, here and there. I need you to put it in the proper systematic way of doing things, you see, like what is the construction industry, you know, and construction industry is about different people. I mean, what is it about, you know, like talk about that. That is a very, very background, a few paragraphs on construction industry and what it aims to achieve, you know, and there's many people working together, you know, and there are, you know, issues with time, you know, like you slowly lead into time, you see. So here, I I don't know how to I don't know how to look at this, you know. It's like you talk about conflict and then suddenly you blah into time and then you back to contract, you know. I mean, like what is all this about, you see?
My thinking is this way. My thinking is this way. First of all, the construction industry is very complex, including
Yes,
many type of stakeholder into
yes.
the whole thing.
Mm.
So with so many people, it comes to a conflict. Then because there are so many people, the conflicts happen, right? Then after that, we will go into a agreement, which is the contract. So in the contract itself, there exists the time implications, the time commitment or obligations. So from there, I derive the time and delay. And then after that, I go to the method, the delay analysis, why I need the delay analysis.
No,
That's my thinking. Yeah.
you're getting things the other way around already.
Uh,
Mm.
because
Okay.
I thinking the big pyramid is what? There are many people. That's why then they come to the contract. Then from the contract, we go to the technical term, the engineering term. And then after that, why I need this delay analysis.
Oh.
That's my thinking. Yeah.
You are actually going, okay, I would respect what kind of aspects you want to take out. Are you
Uh,
more going to be looking into the contractual aspects, or are you going to be more looking into the delay analysis and coming up with a method to actually address delay? You see, there's a difference here, you know, your focus is different if you're looking at, you know, like what I'm trying to say here, even though the topic may means the same thing, but then actually the focus is different, you know. So are we looking out, are we putting so much emphasis on the contract, or are we putting an analysis, I mean, are we putting emphasis on the delay?
I think my topic is about the two things, right? The contract and the delay analysis, right? Together, right?
But there must be something that is dominant and something that is less dominant, you know, so which one is more dominant here?
Delay analysis. Delay analysis is the most dominant.
So delay analysis, at the end of the day, would you want to come up with a technique or a calculation or some method that you can analyze delay?
I'm thinking about some delay analysis method, and then also the whether we fulfill the delay analysis on the contractual part.
So basically, your
whether the
focus.
yeah, because for the contractual part, some contract need the calculations, some contract they don't look into the calculations. So yeah, so I'm thinking, yeah, that's what I'm thinking now.
Okay, if that's the case, I mean, like, I need your consent on this, because I don't want to be forcing you into one direction, and then you yourself are not interested in that particular direction, you see. So I mean, my idea in the beginning is to talk about delay in a more in a more dominant method. Okay, not contract in a more dominant. Contract is just part of this analysis, you see. So not contract as a whole, because your writing now is basically telling me that you are going to be focusing on contract, and delay is only one part of this contract, you see.
Oh, okay, I get your point.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
So what you need to do is to arrange this like construction industry. Then your perspective of writing construction industry is about is not about conflict anymore. Okay, this is not a conflict management thesis. This is not about a dispute resolution kind of thesis. Okay, this is more on time management. Like Huang, you are doing more on quality management. So you need to talk about the construction industry in general. What is the it is a very complicated industry. It has a lot of what I think both of you should write is construction industry as compared to traditional construction industry, whereby projects are actually a lot more simple, okay, and the project are actually less complicated. When you build a house, you build a house. Nowadays project is like when you build pipeline, you also do road. You also do electrical power cables. You see, so it is very multi-dimensional now. So when you start to manage project, there are many things that are actually interrelated with one another, you see. And people are becoming more and more professionals, like they are more focused on one thing. If I'm a consultant, I'm a consultant. If you're a contractor, as a road contractor, you're a road contractor. If you're water contractor, you are water. There's no such thing as general one person tapao everything. So I think we can gain on from that kind of perspective, that when we start to manage time, cost, and quality at the end of this particular section, you all should prove to me that in order to manage the time, cost, quality of a project, it is getting more and more complicated. Okay, it is not. You have to find literature to prove that. Okay, that project is multi-component. It involves multi-resources. It involves different parties, and with different agenda and different kind of mentality, with different kind of culture, and projects are getting more globalized as well. You've got contractors coming in from different countries to actually bid for the projects and all that. So then, when you're dealing with contract, it is also getting more and more complicated, things like that. So just give it a very general feel about, you're laying the foundation of your thesis now, you see. This background, this introduction background, or what we call the background of project, it should be like a one-page thing to actually lay the foundation of the purpose of your study, okay? So focus on the construction industry, the environment, and at the end of the day is the need to manage many things, and therefore it's not so straightforward to manage a schedule anymore. It's not so straightforward to manage to manage the quality plan. That's it, you know, like it's not so straightforward anymore. So we will try to focus on that. Okay. So once that is done, so you are, for the two of you, one of you will go into time, one of you will go into quality, you see. So then you will start to define, okay, what is time in construction, what is quality in construction, you know, and what is the critical, why is it critical to manage time, why is it critical to manage quality, you know, what is the purpose of managing all this, and what are the components of things. Maybe you can talk about components of things to manage. In order to manage a schedule, you need to manage the activity, you need to manage the duration, you need to manage the schedule itself. In order to create a schedule, you need to talk about how to create that schedule. You know, you need to talk about the activities, you need to talk about the interdependency of the activities, you need to talk about the how to write that duration. You see, for quality management, you will need to manage material, you will need to manage manpower, workmanship, you need to manage work method, you see. And what is work method, what is workmanship, what is materials, you see, and give it a good solid definition, not just one or two sentences, you know. You have to, it has to come from many literature. When you are managing quality, material quality, what is it that you are managing, how is it that you are managing, how do people define material quality? Is it through specifications, is it through quality plans, you know, is it through drawings, you know? And it will start to, you know, you have to define all these things first, and then you move in and talk about what is time management, what is quality management, you see, and what are the techniques for time management, what are the techniques for quality management. And then once you get all this definition out first, you get a good feel about all the basic terminology that is actually seen in your topic. Okay. Then we move on to the next part of the pyramid, which is the middle part of that pyramid. Okay. The first beginning part of the pyramid is about the construction industry, the base, then followed by time, cost, quality, followed by what is it that you manage in time, what is it that you manage in quality. So you move on to all your individual topic. We are about, you know, on the second layer now of that pyramid. You understand? So Bernard, you need to talk about time first. Talk about definition of time, definition of schedule. How do you do a schedule? You see? Okay. So when the schedule goes awry, when things are not well done, you know what happened? This delay happened. Okay, when time, what is the issue with time management? Delay is one of the biggest issue in time management. Okay, so if you don't manage time, so answer that question. Why is time management important? Why is quality management important? Then you talk about all the problems that is happening in the industry. Like, for example, delay happened. Delay happened due to what reason? There's many reasons, you see? Okay. And all these are literature. It's not like you talk to me, oh, delay happened because of weather, delay happened because of these people don't manage it properly. Then you write like one paragraph what you think, you know, it's not like that. Yeah, it's not like that. It's like this author says, okay, delay is rampant in Malaysian construction industry. Delay is rampant in the world. You know, delay happens in all construction projects. And why did delay happen? And then what is the issues if delay happen? What is the causes of delay? You know, even the causes of delay, you can write a few pages about causes of delay because there's so many articles out there about causes of delay. Okay, and for quant, there's so many issues on quality, you see. So how much money has been lost because of workmanship, because of rework? How many legal cases is there around, that talks about quality?
Okay.
You have to prove it, that there is an issue here. And what are the causes of quality problems? Obviously, material is a problem. The quality material will contribute. The quality of workmanship will contribute. The quality of work procedures will contribute. The quality of machineries will contribute. So you need to go and search for all these related articles. Your topic is work process, okay? Your topic is maybe you can combine workmanship with work process lah, these two. So you will find, in case work process is not enough, maybe you can add in workmanship because it's manpower So together,
Yeah.
so once this part of the pyramid is done, you will have a conclusion here, and that is, look, workmanship and work processes, if not managed properly, it will create quality problem. You have to prove that, you see. Then what is your research all about? Your research is about studying the problems caused by workmanship and work processes, and how is this being addressed so far? How is this issues being addressed so far? What are the techniques that have been, addressing all these issues? You see, and if you found out, if there's many literature that says that, or maybe it's the integration, like how people integrate between workmanship, work processes, materials, and many time is actually being managed separately. Material is being managed separately, workmanship is being managed separately, and work process is being managed separately. Maybe there's a lack of accountability. People don't account back, you see. I mean, like, if something happens, it's more like ad hoc management. People just simply, oh, if it happens, I will get my men to redo it, and they don't think about what are the root issues, you see. So then your study will be, start to focus on these sort of issues here, you see. I really don't know what is the issues. We need to find out what is the issues.
Okay.
So once you got that, you may want to use different techniques to address those issues, you see. Whether TQM or whether it's going to be having a total different mentality, or to actually use a different kind of management system to create different rubrics, things like that, in order to improve on the management of workmanship and also work processes. And you may want to find some case studies to look in, because for master's level, all you guys need is to actually look into the issues in depth. So you need to collect data in depth and create some form of recommendations. So if you talk about case studies, you may need about 8 to 10 case studies normally to be in depth. Surveys, you can combine surveys with interviews, that will be a few different techniques. So your last bit of the literature review will be about how people address this sort of topic. Like, you can look into past research done by other people in similar topic, and then you can try to adopt their technique in that way So for Bernard's case, then your case is very straightforward. To me, is much more straightforward than quality management. Okay, quality management is still a bit of an airy thing, it's like catching a lot of things from the air. And then if you can catch it, you catch it. If you can't catch it, we will have to find something to catch, you see. But for delay management, is very sure already. Delay is something that is happening everywhere, okay? So at the end of the day, what is the causes of delay? Number one, definitely is the planning. You don't plan it properly. Okay, you don't do schedule properly. You don't address schedule properly. Okay, like when I create a schedule, I just simply say that this one, oh, yeah, from my past experience, this is 5 days, cukup lah, you know. And then the next one is, then you look at next duration. This one, I think we take 10 days. I never mind, I give it extra 2 days, 12 days. So this is the mentality of scheduler, you see. So planning is definitely one issue that we don't include risk in planning, you know, and that is a separate topic. You see, so but it has to be included in your literature review, because this is the overall is delay contributes. It's not only one thing contributes to it, many things contribute to it, you see. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
that
Yeah, understand. So okay. So I'm more focusing on the time and the issue that caused the delay. So
yes.
on other thing, I don't need to mention, right? Do I need
Okay,
to? Yeah.
now this is what I'm trying to reach at here.
Yeah.
Delay happen, from my understanding as a researcher, it comes from number one, planning. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
if it's not done properly, it's just like I tell you that in order for me to walk to Samarahan from Tabuan Jaya, I say that I will just walk 30 minutes. When you already have a schedule that is impractical to start off with, how much good chance are you going to fulfill that schedule? Normal people take 1.5 hours. I say I take half an hour. That means I don't think when I plan, you see. So delay happens because in the initial stage, the schedule is unreasonable. Yeah. So the other issue is we don't look into what could happen. That is another way. That is another reason why delay happen. You know, we don't do risk management. Okay.
Mhm.
And the third thing is we don't do enough of control, for example. Yeah, and then because you don't really anticipate what could happen, you basically, when the delay happen, you analyze the delay. You will just analyze the delay with a very straightforward, um, what is originally planned and what happened, and then we give extra time or we don't give extra time that way. Okay, so you're slowly leading into that things that thoughts on, okay, first we will need a proper study for the delay. Okay, and that is lacking. So if we don't know what are the different causes of delay and we don't manage those risks, basically when the delay happens, the next thing to do is to manage that delay. Okay, and if we don't know, if we cannot manage those delay, I mean, if it's really out of the norm, then we will need to give EOT, and that will brings into the contract parts of things, you see. So the flow is getting, you know, like thinner and thinner in that way, like narrower and narrower. So your job is now to prove that your job is not to come up with a method to actually plan schedule. Okay, your method is to take whatever that is originally planned, okay, and it has to be studied together with the causes of delay, and then to come up with what is the reasonable delay, and would you actually give extra time or would you not give extra time to the project? That is delay analysis, you see.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think what you need to do now is to at least reach to the stage to be clearly, nicely writing all the way up to what we talk about in terms of time management, issues with time management, what are the causes of delays, and from there try to prove to the audience or the examiners that we don't have a proper systematic way of analyzing delay. Okay, and that analysis of delay in itself, actually one of the thing that is being tied, there's a few things that will be tied to the analysis of delay. Number one is the method of analysis. Number two, what are the parameters in this analysis that we're looking at? Number three, what are the contract, what does it say in the contract documents of how to analyze delay?
So this one I need to include it in the literature review, right?
Yes, you include in the literature review. What do you mean by include in the literature review? I'm not asking you to study the contract and include that in the literature review. No. When you study the contract and all the time closes and the delay analysis closes in the contract, that belongs to your chapter 4. It doesn't belong to your chapter 2. Chapter 2 is about what other people say. If so and so say that in PWD 203 form, delay EOT is being given like this, like this, like this, based on this sort of reason. Yes, you can write that down in your literature review. Okay. But if it's not stated how that delay is analyzed, then basically that person, even if he didn't say, later on in your summary, you can say that from the literature review, there is no obvious way of analyzing delay in the contract, in any of the standard form, for example, in Malaysia, like PAM form. I mean, from my understanding, there's none basically lah. They will tell you that, okay, delay, you need to analyze this sort of reason. Okay, but they don't tell you that, okay, step 1, you do this, step 2, you do this. There's a proper procedures. It's still based on the company's own, client's own company's procedures to do all this.
Okay, can.
Are you digesting it?
Yeah. I get your point.
I really do not wish to see all these like bits and pieces here and there, you know, it's like, you really need to combine this properly, you see. I mean, like, you talk about, I understand from your perspective lah, like you're talking about things on contract first, and then you move and talk about time, you know, and then you talk about delays, you know, and the issues in delays and all that. But this, I mean, the things are there, just like last time, the things are here, but I don't see how this is leading towards your topic. I mean, you can't do a proposal defense with this lah, okay? You really need to rearrange all these things. I mean, I feel like the things are here, but it's just that.
Can understand already, because I think previously the idea is a bit different. The idea different, so I get your point already. Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to focus on contract, I will help you to focus on contract in a different, I mean, like we have to terbalik this, you know, and we talk about contract first, and then time is part of contract. And then from there, you are looking at addressing, the study is very different. When we look at contractual clauses in time and how to address delay in time, this is not talking about delay analysis anymore. It's basically a study of delays and a study of delays in contract basically. So our approach is actually very different.
Yeah, I think I go to the dominant issue of the delay analysis, then go to the contractual requirement.
Actually, it will be very interesting if you can create a method at the end of the day. If you collect enough of data to come up with a method to analyze delay, that would be quite an outstanding thesis, you know.
Okay, can. Can.
And obviously, we would not anticipate that you would be able to say create a formula lah, huh? But if you can create some framework or step of how people can do delay analysis and assessment in a more mathematical way, I think that would be very good already for a master.
Okay, can. It'll be that way.
You will need a lot of data for that mathematical modeling. I mean, like if we need you to do mathematical modeling, if we can arrive at that stage to do mathematical modeling, then I will have to bring in another lecturer to help you with the mathematical side of things lah. But that one you don't worry, it's for later stage lah, huh? I mean, like at the end of the day, if you can come up with a formula that people can use to calculate and key in and calculate, you know, what sort of EOT should be given, you know, in that sense, I think that would be wonderful. And it's probably doable. It's just that it will need quite a strong background in terms of modeling and mathematical modeling lah. So I don't know if you want to go to that kind of level, but that will be the ultimate lah, basically lah. And whether you can arrive at that ultimate, it doesn't really matter for a master's, because what you need to do is collect enough data to see how different delays happen and how different analysis is being carried out, you know, and how people arrive at certain EOT, you know, like how people arrive at the EOT amount and all that, or how people reject EOT, you know, and then from there, if we can see a pattern in things, then we can move into modeling, you see, but that all will require quite a lot of data to do that. But if you're looking at just a few case studies, you know, and then to see when you assess, when we are assessing delays, we are looking at things like schedule, critical path, you know, and then what happened and whether this is critical, non-critical, compensable, non-compensable. That if we can tie all these things together and create some form of framework to analyze that delay, I think you will have done a very good job already, actually. So it's more on a qualitative level rather than a quantitative level.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I can see that there's a potential to develop this into a mathematical model, but then I do not want to stress you on that first, huh? You focus on gathering data at the end of the day for you to actually do a framework on how, you know, steps of assessing delays, what should be included and all that.
Okay.
So let me sort of like, maybe I will highlight to you here on what should be in your pyramid lah, huh? Okay. So when we talk about construction industry, things in construction industries here, like all these things about construction industries in the beginning, let's highlight in, say, red color lah, huh? This will probably be some sort of foundation for your what is in construction industry, and then you bring into things like time construction project planning. Okay, these are the things. And then talking about time time, scheduling and time. And obviously, when we talk about time management, you need to talk about time. So first of all, you need to talk about time first, huh? You need to define time first, and then you need to define schedule. Well, now when I'm going through with this, it also applies to you, when you're writing your literature review, So when I'm talking to Bernard here, on this framework, it's the same for you as well. It's just that you are in a context of quality, okay?
Okay.
Okay. And schedule and what are all the typical schedules in the industries, like CPM and all that, like Gantt chart, CPM, what else, whatever else, huh? And then time management involves what? Time management involves time planning, scheduling. Scheduling involves what? It involves things like duration determination, sequencing of activities, etc., etc., etc. How this is on time management. So time management will involve time planning and time schedule, control, and all that. But having to say all this, like after you've done what is your working program and all that, okay, like let's say this blue bit is your second part, okay? After construction industry, we build up towards difficult to manage time. And then what is time? And what is time management? What is work program? What is Gantt chart? What is CPM? And how do you come up with work program and all that? And time planning. And then what is time planning? What is time control? And why is it important? Why is it important? You have to answer this. Why is it important to manage time? Okay. So then if time is not being managed properly, something goes awry, then delay will happen. Okay. So now we talk about the third level here, delay. You see your critical path, suddenly it jumps to somewhere in the middle here. So I'm really confused by your way of writing actually. This is part 2. You have to group it together, your thesis is like be systematic about things, You finish talking about one thing first, group by group, you see. So I'm trying to group it for you guys now. So once this is done, then we'll talk about delays. Okay, so delays, we're talking about the green thing. Everything in green is about delay, type of delay, yeah. This is okay. But what literature did you get this from? You see, it's very important. You see, I don't see any much, like only these two. And what is all this here? I don't see anything on delay. Like who write all these things, you see? Where does all these things come from? There's paragraphs and paragraphs here that has no referencing, you see?
Okay, can we like put because normally I see you need to put the author name at the bottom. But sometimes we also can we change, like we put the author name in the front, like according to this guy, according to author A on the date, then we put in the storyline. What do you think?
Can, but the thing is, if it's by the same author, even the next paragraph, you have to mention his name again.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not like okay, this 5 paragraph here is by one author, not like that. And that
Okay.
will also means that your author is not enough because you're only using one author and you already write 5 paragraph. That means you're not doing enough of literature, you see.
Okay. Okay.
It has to be supported by others, you see, at least 3 or 4.
Okay.
And this is a very old type of topic. Time is a very old type of topic. There's going to be a lot of literature on these things. It cannot be no literature one, you know. We're not talking about latest development in the construction industry, like more on the issues like sustainability, you know, or green technology. Yeah, this sort of thing, some of it is very new, so you don't get so much literature. Time is a very old issue here, you see.
Can we get the information like more than 10 years ago, can, right? Doctor, what do you think? Yeah.
Minimum lah.
I mean more than 15, 20 years, can or not? Yeah.
No, too outdated already.
Too outdated. Because I think they are more advanced than us.
Not true. If you talk about this, you cannot tell your examiner that, you know.
Okay.
This is academics. I mean, like, we cannot say that they are more advanced than us.
Okay.
Because the pool of knowledge is being shared around the world, you know. Whoever is more advanced, the pool of knowledge is there already. If the pool of knowledge is outdated, it's outdated.
Okay. Okay.
So then you talk about delay. What is delay, you know, and what are the different type of delays? You know, find more authors for it, and then we talk about you don't talk about delay assessments first, talk about causes of delay first. Causes of delay first. That one will be part of under delays lah, huh? Then after you talk about delays, what are the causes of delays? Yeah, I mean, the thing here, I really don't know how, I honestly don't know how to arrange this for you. Like, you know, suddenly you talk about float into a work program. I mean, like, but not if like this, it's very difficult to actually come up with a thesis, you know. I mean, like, you'll be having a problem of one of those that is maybe too practical in the sense that, you know, you end up cannot do an academic kind of exercise, you know. It's going to be tough, you know, if like this, you know. I mean, like, after I spoke to you the last time, you see, all your things are still mumble jumbling, you know, like, you talk about as EOT, you see, so suddenly EOT, but up all the way on top there, you talk about contract. Why is not EOT up there, but down here, you see? So I'm like, sorry, I'm really having a difficulty trying to understand your work, you know? You really need to be systematic about your thoughts, you know. If you're not, then if it's pieces and pieces of here, I've seen students like this, they cannot get it through even literature review, you know. Like, there will be jam at literature review, and that's it, die before the birth birth of the whole thing, you see.
Yeah, because I thought that I'm putting the contract first, then after that I go to the delay.
No, even you're putting contract first, your things are still jumble, you see. It's like, if you are talking about the contract first, then everything about contract should be up on the top, you know, and then everything on time will be on the bottom, you see. But yours is like, sometimes you talk about contract, sometimes you talk about time, sometimes you talk about back to contract again, and go to EOT again, and then go to delay assessment again. It's like bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. You know, it's like you're not putting everything into one category, you see.
Okay.
Do you realize the problem here? I mean, like, it's very dangerous, you know, from the way that I look at this. Is 2 times already I'm looking at your things and you're not organizing it, you see.
I mean, is it is it how to say, is it too advanced for me to talk about the very deep thing? You know what I mean? Is it too early? At the start of the literature, right? Do I talk about so advanced term like flow, all this thing, right? I because the time I'm thinking I should put at the bottom bit because it is maybe too deep or too advanced to talk about that critical term.
No, I think your problem is you're not organizing your things, you know, your thoughts are not organized. From the way that this is being put forward to me, your thoughts are not organized. You see, that is the base. You're not even doing the basic thing. Don't talk about the deep thing, you know.
Mm.
I mean, like, we've already gone through the pyramid styles with you already. Even the foundation, you are mumbo jumbling things up, you know, like you talk about this and suddenly you jump to something else, and then 10 page later you come back to whatever you're talking about in the beginning, you see. So you get what I mean? I mean, this is not the way that you're going to organize this, you see, because if you can't get through this, you can't get through anything, you see.
Okay, can.
I need to see a proper write-up as a, I mean, like, even if you are saying that your focus is on contract in the beginning, but this particular work here, I can tell you there's no focus on anything. I don't know what you're trying to focus on. If it's just simple, like you got the focus dominant and less dominant wrong, then I can easily arrange that back to you, you know, like, okay, put all these things in the first and then put this thing down. That's it, you know, it's very clear. But yours is not in the block, you see. I'm trying to highlight your blocks for you in different colors, you know. And yet, you know, I have to scroll so many pages just to find 1 or 2 paragraphs that is belonging to the same block, you see. Cannot lah, like this really cannot. It's like, if you don't get it organized by the next class, I mean by the next sessions, then something is not right here. I mean, like, maybe you're not suited to do research, actually. Yeah. Okay, let's see how we go in the next round of submission. So, okay, I go through this again. When we talk about construction industry, you talk about construction industry first. Okay, by right, I don't have to say all these things to you. You know, this is already two spoon feeding already. This is wrong already, actually. Yeah, I mean, but you're not organizing this into the way that it should be. You see, so first, you must talk about construction industry and the importance of time, cost, quality management. Okay, you need to bring up time, cost, quality, and then from there you draw out time. And time, what is time? Definition of time. You know, I don't even see a definition of time here. Time is what in the construction project, you see. And then in order to, what is related to time? Schedule. how to come up with a schedule. These are some of the most basic things, you know, you're not even covering that, you see. So working program is one of the basic things. So how do you come up with a working program? You see, and then what is Gantt chart? What is work program? What is critical path method? These are some of the most basic things in time, in schedule, in scheduling. Then you talk about time management, is to manage that schedule, is to manage, why is it important to do time management? How do you do time management? So construction project planning, you see, your construction project planning, suddenly you have a construction project planning out of the blue somewhere here. You see, after you talk about standard form, construction project planning. And wait, what is that going to do? So construction project planning is part of time management. So this belongs to time management, planning, how to come up with the schedule. This is all about construction planning. And then after that, construction control. So it covers what is being implemented and how do you monitor your schedule. And if the schedule is not updated, what do you do? And after you update a schedule, do you realize that there is a potential delays, you know? So then we move in and talk about if you don't manage time properly, so delay will occur, you see? What I'm telling you now is the point that you should be putting down here. But you need to back all this up with literature, you know. It cannot be I say this one sentence, you put down that one sentence here, you see. It has to be from various literature, you see. So why is time management important? You have to write 2 pages on why is time management important. And that is not you write. You have to find authors who support you. Why you must manage time. And the conclusion that you must reach is if delay happens, then it will cause a lot of issues. It will cause contractual issues. It will cost money. It may cause quality issues, you see. So what are the consequences of not managing time? And by managing, we means that if you don't plan your time properly, if you don't control your schedule, it's 2 aspects here, planning and control. Either one of that not done properly, you will run into delays. And of course, delays can happen from external environmental factor, not only from management, but also from, this is one of them is inherent, is like inbuilt, the DNA. If you don't manage, if you don't plan properly, you will have delay. If you don't update your schedule and do something about it, you will have delay. And the third party, the third big here is the external environment, the causes. What are the external causes, such as rain, such as weather, such as external parties, you know, other authorities? These are all the other issues that can cause delay, you see. Are we getting it so far? Can you stop me if you don't understand?
Yeah. I think the cause of delay, I developed into four type. Caused by 4 type of people, the client, the contractor itself, and the consultant. Yeah.
You can, but that is category, you know, like that can be part of your literature review, but it's only a part of your literature review. It can come from these people, okay? But what I'm telling you here is a very general one. Number 1, planning. If you don't do planning, if you don't do a reasonable schedule, you're gonna have problems. You see, and then if you don't manage your schedule, there will be a problem. And there are some problems that are unexpected. So delay comes from who, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because it all comes from, it's all within this category, you see. It's all within the category of planning, control, and also external. True or not?
Okay. Okay.
So whether it comes from consultant, it can be consultant during planning, it can be from client during planning stage, it can be from contractor during planning stage, it can be from contractor not controlling the time properly. Okay? Do you understand?
Yeah. So the cause of delay, I should divide into the three thoughts, planning, control, and external issue. But I no need to categorize it into the who's the one that caused it.
You can, but it will be the even more narrow. You know, you know, you have to go big first, you see, and then go down. You know, you can supplement that with delay can come from different people, you see. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's just that it is not enough.
Okay. Okay.
So because when you're doing delay analysis, it's not like just who does it come from, you know, that kind of concept, you know. It has to also come from whether this is the external factor or not, you know. External factor, you have to grant people EOT if it's the external factor, you see. Let's say if there's COVID pandemic now, it's external factor. Client cannot stop it, I cannot stop it, you cannot stop it, you know. Planning cannot be included. So your delay analysis, this actually will form the different parts in your delay analysis also later on, you see. So if you're clear on this, then it will help you to create the framework better later on also, you see.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think you talk about once the importance of delay, so the importance of time management, you see, after why you manage time, because you don't want delay to happen. But you must conclude that delay can happen even though you manage, you see. So now we talk about delays. So when you go into the green section, the green block is whereby you start to go into more in-depth of your topic already. What is delay? You have to answer that, you see. What is delay? Type of delay.
Okay.
So you get that overall down first. What is delay? What is the type of delay? And then you slowly move into delay in contract. You see, you don't jump into contract at the moment. You just talk about delay first. What is the definition of delay? Can you give me 5 definitions of delay? Can you give me definition of 5 authors or 6 or 10 authors that talk about what is delay? This is what I want. Yeah, okay. You understand, huh?
Yeah. I have this story. Yeah.
So talk about delay. What is delay? So author A say delay is this. Author B say delay is this. Author C say delay is this. Supported by author D, for example. And author E, F, G says delay is 1. So you must fully understand delay. It's just like delay now is like your hand. You look at it from the side, you look at it from the front, you look at it from the back, you look at it from every finger, like that, you know. So after you understand delay, what are the type of delay? Then you talk about what are the way of, maybe you can talk about causes of delay. What are the causes of delay? You see? So delay can happen because of what I say just now. Delay can happen because lack of planning. Delay can happen because the schedule has not been rigorously controlled or updated. And when delay happens, people do not work on overcoming delay. But you have to find author who says this. Author E says that, unreasonable planning will create delays, you see. So then you go into talk about delays, and delay can be created by people. It can be created by client. There are reasons that are created by consultant. There are reasons that are corrected by contractors, you see. So you talk about causes of delays. Understand all that you can understand in terms of causes of delay. Okay.
Okay.
So now, after you understand causes of delay, then you should be able to summarize that some delays can be prevented. Some delays cannot be prevented, correct or not? And if some delays cannot be prevented, then you and I are looking at those delays that cannot be prevented. Because if those delays that can be prevented is in risk management, then it has already been catered. It should be already been catered in risk management. That is another topic. That is another area of research. But if those things that you cannot be prevented, then what are the assessment? How do you assess those delays? Okay, so delays are also being catered. The first way of assessing delays obviously is from the contractual perspective. Okay, and then delays can also be assessed from a very practical perspective, as in how much days, like in a very quantitative manner. Okay, so then this area here, we are talking about delay assessments. Okay, delay assessments. Okay, maybe these causes of delay you can shift to this green color lah, huh? Yeah, right. So now I can see that, like from this delay, from when you talk about delay assessments, first you can talk about contract already. Delay is catered in the contract. Okay, so you bring in what is standard form of contract and how is what is the delay being said in the contract. What is delay being said in PAM form? What is delay being said in PWD form? What is delay being talked about in JKR form, CIDB form? Standard form. What is standard form? Standard form helps you to, there are clauses that is related to delays. Okay. So you talk about what other people say is about delay in standard form, not what you read in your standard form. I don't need to know what you think. I don't need to know what you say. I don't need you to read any of the standard form at this point in time. You understand?
Yeah.
It has to be from literature. So then you talk about standard form and how is delay spoken in, how is delay being addressed in standard form? And then how is delay being addressed in terms of assessment, the practical way? And then I think you've got some of it here already at the bottom here. These are the actual analysis. You see, these are the methods. Yeah, the techniques. I mean, all these are relevant. These are all relevant. These are all relevant in the assessment of delays. So you need to review the assessments of delays, you see. So then you start to see, okay, now I have looked through what author says about delays and contract. What did I get out of it? You know, like what is the thing that you got out of it, you see? And I look at the different way of assessing delays in engineering project, and what did I get out of it? You have to answer that, you know. If you can't answer that, then what is the point of doing all this literature review here? So this will basically be forming part of your problem statement, aim and objective. It will form the introduction. You know, like later on, this data here, if you have enough of this data here, it will be part of your introduction. So basically what we are covering now is up to about half of your literature review, you see. So from there, you need to identify, okay, from all this literature that I've read, it looks like delay can be assessed. The delay are covered in contract. And what is it that is lacking in contract? You know, and then delay is also covered in some of the practical method. What is the shortcoming of these two? You know, what is the linkage between these two, contract and method of assessment? Maybe it's not being linked together. Maybe it's, you know, they are independent. They are too independent of one another. And it may not be covered in contract, etc., etc. I don't know. You need to tell me. Oh, you understand?
I cover in the conclusion, right?
You cover in the section summary.
Section summary, you mean the last part, right? Or the...
No. Every component, every section, 3.1, you write delays. At the end of it, you need to come up with your reflection. Like construction industry, you need to have a reflection at the end of it. Time and time management, you need to have a reflection. And that reflection will bring you to the next section of delay.
So I put it as summary, not conclusion. I put it
No.
as summary.
No. Conclude. You will only have one conclusion, and that is chapter 5.
Okay.
And
So
every chapter will have a section general and a section summary. Meaning that at the beginning of every chapter, you will have what this chapter is all about. Okay? And at the end of the chapter, you will have a chapter summary. And this chapter summary will tell you that this particular, what is your reflection overall and what will be in the next chapter.
Okay.
Huang, do you get what I mean? You also have to do the same thing,
Yeah.
Every session, like when we talk about quality, like same thing. You need to talk about construction industry, what is quality management, and then from there, you need to talk about how quality of workmanship is being managed, how quality of work process is being managed, you see? What are the tools, what are the techniques, how is it, what are the thoughts of other authors on how to manage workmanship, how is the thoughts of other authors on how to manage that work processes. If these are not being done, you will have problems, you see? And what are the problems? And then from there, you will get a feel about like, hey, you know, like it doesn't seem to be right here, you know, like why is workmanship managed like this? Is there a better way of managing workmanship? Is there a better way of managing work processes? Is there a better way of linking the two together? And that is your thesis already, you see, like your direction already. That is your gap of research already. Is there a better way of doing things here? But without all the above, you cannot come up with that. You cannot sit down here and say that, oh, this topic is created by Dr. Ting. She should know what this is all about. But you cannot tell your examiner in the Viva that this topic is given by my supervisor. You need to prove it through a lot of academic research, and that is literature review, you see. That you arrive at this particular topic is because you have read so much, and you can see from here the pattern is like this, you see. That there is no way of managing work processes and workmanship together. And therefore, you want to create a way. So you want to see if that statement is true. So you go and do a lot of data collection. You look at different projects by case studies, by surveys, by different ways of studying this. And then you arrive at, hey, look, it's not there, It's really not there. This problem is true, it's real, And therefore, I want to address it like that. That is a master. If you can come up with a formula, if you can come up with a technique, you can come up with a computer program, you can come up with a framework, a very good, solid framework, you are almost there at a PhD already. That is the difference. Masters is the in-depth analysis of that issues, of that problem. Masters is the contribution to knowledge. Okay. These are all the very beginning at the moment, okay? I mean, like, Huang, you are 3 months in. Bernard, you're about 6 months in, okay? And end of August already. So if you want you guys to graduate next year, you really need to work on this,
Okay. So okay. So my last part for this literature review, the delay analysis conclusion, right. The delay analysis
section summary.
section summary.
But that is not the last part of your literature review. The last part of your literature is, can you get any similar research that is being carried out by other people?
I don't think I have similar research by other people.
Cannot
They
be.
can show that they can show the delay assessment.
How they carry out this analysis.
Yeah, that part I did not see too many people come out.
Not too many people. You only need about 5.
About 5.
It has to be from other research paper that is done by other people, like maybe in Singapore, maybe in Indonesia, maybe in China. China now has a lot of pool of data. I mean, like, I'm sure these are very typical issues,
Okay, can. So delay analysis. Okay.
Okay, the difference here is when you look at past research and you are looking at delay analysis, okay, delay analysis is current technique that are in the market already, okay? You are looking at those techniques, okay?
Yeah.
But when you talk about past research is overall research. How does people do this research? Do they use case studies? Is there a case studies about delay assessments on a road project in Korea, for example? So you're looking at research project that is carried out by other people on similar topic like yours. You're not finding a study that is Singapore delay assessment technique. Not like that. Okay? You're talking about research method. I'm looking at research method. Research on delay analysis. How other people carry out delay analysis.
Okay.
We're not talking about technique. That last section here, I need you to go and search for like at least 5 or 6 literature as in a research paper, maybe from Pakistan, from China, from Bangladesh, from Korea, or from Japan, from Singapore, from US, from Australia. As long as it's we need to look at these people's approach, their approach to study this topic.
Yeah. Okay.
So
More than that.
what you need to get out from them is, hey, if people use case studies, can I use case studies as well to collect my data? Then what you need to do is you need to say past research number one, a road case studies, a case studies in Korea, studying the delay in road construction in highway in highway project in Korea, for example. Then you write a little bit about the background of the study, and then most of it you need to talk about what are the method that they use to carry out the research. Do they use case study?
Yeah, okay, can. So the method for this one is the last part of the literature review.
Yes, correct. And this one will help you to create. This one will help you to create your methodology, chapter 3.
So this one, this research by other people, let's say 5 or more than 5. So it must be within 10 years, right? Within 10 years or 7 years, right?
Within 10 years, yes. Within 10 years, and if you do have some older research, it's also fine,
yeah.
but not too many.
Oh, okay.
Like the really old research, like let's say 2010 and below, 2010 and below, I think we will only want about less than 20% of the whole literature review.
Okay, I get your point. Clear. Yeah.
So I am actually quite pushy with you guys now. I mean, like, we shouldn't be dilly-dallying with this, you know, like, I mean, the next meeting when I come back to this, please, I need to see you be able to actually block it yourself. Like, you need to be able to show me that this page 1 section, this to this section, I am talking about this issue only. And this section to this section, I'm talking about this issue only, you know, and then at the end of that issue, at the end of that section, you need to be able to do a reflection of a paragraph or 2 paragraph maximum.
Okay, can. Yeah.
And literature review is like that. You copy from other people. You don't have to copy word by word. As long as you copy the meaning, whatever they say in the meaning, is good enough. Because if we copy word by word, later on in turning in, nowadays in the academic world, we need to do turning in. It's a plagiarism software. If you copy everything straight without changing anything, yes, you do referencing, but if your plagiarism test come back to be higher than 30%, you will need to rewrite the whole thesis, you know.
Yeah, no copy, just copy the meaning.
Yes, so it's better that now that you see from the literature review, you can copy straight away first, but then you need to be able to reword it a little bit.
Yeah.
And you understand now, Huang? Because I need to start you guys on this in the right path, you know, because a lot of students in the old days, we basically just take whatever other people say, we put it in and we do referencing, and that's good enough. But in the academic world for the past 5 years, there's this thing called turning in plagiarism test, you see. So when that comes out, a lot of students die because of that. They finish a thesis already and then end up have to go back and, you know, tinker, rework, and take another 2-3 months just to do that, you know, and then it's really, really tough, you know.
So if like this, then we are gone, right?
That's why I'm starting you guys right now. I don't want you to copy everything straight away, you see.
No. Who copy? Just get the idea. It's not that.
So literature review actually is supposed to be literature by other people. You're not supposed to be having any of your own words here, okay?
Yeah.
Except for every section punya summary that you will have. Let's say if I have section 1, construction industry, 2.2 construction industry. By the time I finished, by the time I reach section 2.3, time management, I will have a beginning there. I mean, at the end of 2.2, I mean, 2.2, beginning of 2.3, I will have a paragraph or two that talks about what I get from this whole section and what I'll be talking about in the next section.
Okay, can.
That is your storytelling, you understand?
Yeah.
So in between, like 2.2, the whole section is a multi-million industry, is a multi-complex industry, is complicated project. All these things, yes, it comes from different authors. It's good to have 5, 6 different authors. It's good to have more than 1 or 2 authors, okay, for every writing that you have. That is literature review, but don't copy bulat. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you can combine 2 authors punya writing together, and you can write according to A 2015 and Mr. So and so B bracket 2019, for example. Then the whole sentence below is a combination of these 2 persons, for example.
Okay, I'm clear. Yeah. So yeah, I'm clear.
Literature is based on the article, the article number, not on the author number. Like sometimes one article can have 3 authors. That is only counted as one article, not 3 authors.
Yeah, we put ETAL, right? ETAL,
Yes,
right?
ETAL, correct.
Now to ask you, we put ETAL dot the year or comma the year. Which one is correct?
If you put it at the beginning, usually is the surname of the author and then bracket the year. Okay, so if you put that sentence at the back, everything in the bracket, that means bracket, author, comma, year, bracket.
Comma, right?
No. Beginning of the sentence according to thing. Bracket 2009 bracket. That is at the beginning.
Yeah.
The sentence finish and you want to put the author's name there. There is bracket, author, comma, date, bracket. It's 2 different styles, but then it's applicable to both. I unshare the screen first. So let's say according, you look at the chat. That is one way, okay? Then if let's say the sentence finish, okay, at the end of the sentence, you put bracket, thing, ETAL, comma, 2009, bracket.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay?
Doctor, what's the meaning of ETAL? ET, what's the full name of ET?
I also don't know. I think it's called etc.
Etc. All right.
Yeah, something like that. But it's only for 3 authors and above. 2 authors is N. Thing and Ling, for example. Bernard, I need you to really approach this in a very academic way. I mean, like, you need to think in a very systematic way, and it is the worst thing. I mean, I've supervised students, one master. I don't know how he's a very good student, and also student to student, like from a undergraduate all the way to Masters. At the end of the day, he cannot finish his literature review. Every time I look at his literature review, it's mumbo jumbo. But his problem is, I think he lost focus. There must be some reason why he's losing focus, okay? But I have seen some students who has a lot of difficulty with literature review because they can't think in a systematic way.
Okay, can.
It has to be rational, logical. You finish, it's about you finishing talking about one thing first before you move on to the next.
Yeah, okay.
That is a principle. I don't want to see any mumbo jumbling. In the next class, in the next meetup that I have with you, I need to be able to highlight everything together. Like, let's say if I look at time, I need to be able to highlight straight away everything in one block. Okay?
Okay, can.
The only thing that I wish to see in the next issue is me telling you that, Bernard, this one is there, everything is there already, but maybe this one you can add in more literature. Or maybe you can take out something. That's all I want from you. Okay? I do not want to repeat this and say that next time I see you, I will still say that your thoughts is not logical and is still everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That one you
Doctor.
have to promise me. I do not want to comment like that anymore, okay?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and clear.
Yeah.
So,
Huang,
okay.
I hope you are clear about your literature review and you now know that why I say that you are only scratching your surface when you give me your literature just now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know I haven't been having too much of attention on you because you just registered. But from now on, I want to see you coming to this monthly meeting that I have with the both of you, okay?
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is applicable, and because I believe that you are coming as a student, so from a student to a student, supposed to be these are actually quite normal for you. I can see that for Bernard because he's working in the industry, so he may have a lot of thoughts inside here, and when he put it on paper, it's everywhere. So that is quite common. But after we have gone through so many times already, we cannot keep on repeating on the same issues, Bernard.
Okay, can. Hey, doctor, I just want one request, because I'm going to start my apartment 5 block construction already. So because I'm a bit worried if I do our discussion on the weekday, because there'll be many sounds. Because the next meeting, can we do it in the weekend or something? Because less sound. Because I scared they disturb my discussion.
Can do it like a bit earlier or a bit later in the evening also can. Yeah.
A bit night also no problem. But I think at the daytime, I think the construction too loud. Hard to
Okay.
talk. Yeah. Only
We
that.
will work on that, huh?
Okay, can.
Okay, so Huang, next, it's better for you all to actually give me a proper rational, writing on your literature rather than, like 20, 30 pages, but things are everywhere, So if you do have issues that maybe like Bernard, you can just finish all the way up to time management, and then we can talk, like we settle bit by bit, and not like Juan, you can email me, when you talk about quality management, what is quality management, what are the tools and techniques in quality management, and how effective quality management system has been in terms of managing work process and workmanship, those sort of things, you can show it to me first, then maybe I can email you back and tell you that this is not enough or whatever.
Okay. All right.
When we do the monthly one, it will be more on the overall already, but you can come into contact with me like bi-weekly or even like weekly, even if you want, or anytime when you feel like, you need to show me some part, Okay. So
Okay.
don't think about introduction, don't think about methodology, don't think about chapter 1 and 3. Focus on your literature review. The pyramid is like this. The bottom is about definition, it's about construction industry, it's about definition first. And then from there, you go into more in-depth on the issues surrounding your topic, and then that is whereby the gap of research, the problem statement will be getting more and more obvious. So from that gap of research and problem statement, you will start to see the aim and objective, the scope of work of your study, you know, the direction, you see. So once we get the direction done, the top of the pyramid is whereby you look at how other people are carrying out research like this. Then you get some ideas from them and then you write your methodology.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
But data, your problem is you are giving me something that is too brief. Okay? Like nothing much to say. This one I don't even need to show it here, you know? Yeah.
All right.
All right. Huh? Okay, so I will put this recording in YouTube. Anytime you need to, you can have go back and listen to it, huh?
Okay, yeah, great.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
Okay, thanks.
See you.
Yes, you.
Thank you.
Yep. I'll see you guys next month, huh?
Okay, yeah, good. Yeah, thanks.